आनंद खोलियो जरा यूट्यूब। आनंद खोलियो जरा। आनंद खोलियो जरा यूट्यूब। यूट्यूब। आवाज तो नहीं आ रही।
Hi everyone, my name is Manuj Jindal and I am an IAS officer trainee in the 2017 batch. I secured rank 53 in the last time when the exam was conducted in 2016-17. Mm, I must say this must be a very nervous time for a lot of you who have prepared hard for the last 6 months to 12 months for the civil services prelims exam, and it is the last 60 days in which this whole preparation actually comes together. It is at this time that you must consolidate your entire preparation and deliver on the final D day. And this will be about 15-minute video where I will try to give you a brief into how you can optimize and maximize your performance at this critical point of time. So I really hope it helps you. So the first thing that I did when I was studying was create a rigorous timetable of on a daily basis, which recorded what I have studied, how much I have studied, and what I had to study on a daily basis for the next 1 month or two. The one that I'm showing you here is sample of my Excel sheet that I've maintained every day. But this one is both including mains and prelims, so you can ignore the mains part, which consists of the some management videos that I sorry the management portion that I covered, and also some question and answer writing that I covered in the first two columns. Then last few columns you will see history, geography, polity. So this is kind of a timetable of how much I studied and what I studied on that particular day. See, the reason a timetable is important is because it helps you keep a track of what you're studying. It helps you to make sure that you're studying what you need to study that day, and be accountable to yourself. Be honest to yourself. You should make a prelims focused timetable. It does not have to be in this Excel format. In fact, I used both this Excel and I also had a paper format in which I used to write every day what I had to study and used to cross it out at the end of the day. So you can have something like that that you can use and track your performance, and also be able to make sure that you are covering everything in a timely manner. The next thing is to choose the right sources at this point of time to revise everything. See, a lot of you already have notes, already have the right study material that you have referred to. But if some of you have not figured it out even now, or there might be overlaps with those who already have these resources, I would like to go over them again, because at this time you should minimize the number of things you are studying and maximize the output from them. So for every subject, just make a list of what you're studying and what you have to complete and how many days will you give it. So here, for example, for polity, I would kind of give around 15 to 20 days to polity. That is enough in a course of next 16 days. But polity is very important, so that's why this large amount of time out of total 60 days that I am planning to give it. So here Lakshmikant is your Bible. Everything, almost everything in polity will mostly come from Lakshmikant and nothing much from outside Lakshmikant. And when in a good year you can get almost 15 to 20 questions from polity, but at least minimum 7 to 8 are guaranteed. So this is a very important portion, and you should cover Lakshmikant very well for that. um, the second is history. See, history is very vast, but I personally did not devote more than 8 to 10 days for history, because then otherwise it takes up too much time and then it becomes very, very difficult to handle. So for this, what I did was I focused on three main things: modern India, that is freedom struggle, that is modern India, I call it modern India, freedom struggle, ancient India, and medieval India. For freedom struggle and ancient India, or culture, including culture, will be the most amount of questions that from where it probably will appear, which has been the trend for the last lot of high number of years. So here you have to cover the maximum amount of ground. So focus on these two more than medieval India. And I have given the various sources here. You can refer to these sources or any other sources. But give around 10 days, focus on ancient and on freedom struggle, and give some maybe 2 days to medieval, which will be enough. The next is economy micro and economy macro. For economy micro, Mrunal videos is a gold mine. I personally really liked Mrunal's videos that I personally also used. Um, you can use any other free sources also available online, or you can just go through NCRT 11th and 12th books. See, remember, the focus should be on fundamentals, okay, on some basic current affairs and some fundamentals. Don't delve too deep into the theory of economics, otherwise it will become very complicated. UPSC asks only fundamentals, very basic fundamentals of 12th class level, which you can get right by just reading these sources. Give it around both micro and macroeconomics, you should give around 8 days. I think that should be more than enough for the economics part, and for macro also same strategy as micro. The next is social science. For these two, just go through current affairs available through various notes and also through NCRT books. There is not huge amount that is asked from this. I've mistakenly put geography and polity here in social science. Just cross that out. But these are very normal topics, and you don't need to go much into detail here. Just study the basic NCRTs as I have told here. Give around 2 to 3 days to this max, not even that much. Geography, here you should give 4 to 5 days to geography. For physical geography, NCRT is the best book that is available, and maps are also very important. You will see a trend that a lot of map questions are being asked, and also basic questions regarding physical geography are asked, and not many on Indian geography. So just have a good understanding on physical geography, landforms, etc., maps, and remember the rivers, national parks, these kind of things UPSC has been asking more. Um, and then is the India yearbook. For India yearbook, uh, you know, uh, if you have read it, if you have been reading it, then it's good. This takes a lot of time, so at this point I would not advise you to read it from cover to cover. Just pick up the notes that are available by various coaching centers in the market, and these notes will be enough. They are maximum 10-15 pages notes. They summarize them. These coaching institutes summarize this India yearbook really well, so you can study that. The next is environment, very important section. Probably almost 10 questions will come from here, and this is quite a large section. I prefer Shankar IAS Green Book that I personally preferred. I also made very in-depth notes for this, which are available on my website mjindal.com. You can get it from there. My notes you can study; they're free, just available out there for aspirants like you. Um, uh, but please do focus on environment. Try to revise from here. See, what will be asked is national parks, sanctuaries, different type of species, different type of ecological processes, and these are all covered in these particular sources that I've given you. Current affairs, so this is a very important part. revise all the current affairs that you have studied so far from newspapers. If you have notes, revise from them. If you don't have notes, you can pick up any kind of um, and you can revise through various videos that are available online. Unacademy videos are also available, I think, on this particular thing. uh, um, you can also use other coaching material that is available. Give it about 15 days time, 10 to 15 days to just current affairs, around 10 to 15 days. Environment also 5 days, and current affairs around 10 days, because these two are very high fetching as far as UPSC is concerned. Focus on government schemes. A lot of government schemes will be asked. Focus on any kind of international organization meetings that have been happening. Some kind of question will be asked on that also. And for the practice questions, definitely do at least last 12 to 15 years of UPSC questions. I'm pretty sure that some questions will repeat, and you will get an idea of how UPSC asks questions. See, you should have an idea of what is the trend that UPSC is kind of following, what is the language they use, what are the tricks they use in the questions and answers. And if you are able to revise these well, then you should be good to go. And these are other sources. You can use them, you can not use them, you can use any test series available in the market or anything you want. But of course, you can't do all of these. So beware. Don't try to do all of these. Otherwise, that will become very hectic. Only choose one or two of them and revise accordingly. See, when it comes to doing test series or practice questions, I would say you should try to do definitely all the UPSC old papers at least 1 to 2 times. You should know the UPSC old questions by heart. You should just remember them. Okay, that this is and this is the right answer. But test series, as far as they are concerned, just do at least one per day or one in every 2 days. That will help you to keep a pace with the test taking kind of practice. Try to time it. Do it in time. Don't take more than what time is allotted in the real UPSC paper also. I cannot emphasize more on the importance of revision. Without revision, all of this will be useless. Whatever you have studied, just maximize on that. Just try to re-study that, and do not try to study too many new things. If even if you just study what I've told you to study so far, that is a very good amount, and that can definitely get you through the cutoff point, and that's what all you need, not more than that. So I would say revise, revise, revise as much as possible. Here, I have tried to give you the kind of schedule I followed towards the last 2 months when I was taking prelims. At this point of time, I wanted to increase my productivity per day. So, I would obviously use more hours. Earlier, I was studying 8 hours. Now, during the last 2 months, I would study at least 12 to 13 hours per day in order to get the most out of these last 60 days. So, this is the way I used to study, the phases of my studying. I used to wake up every day at 6:30 a.m., kind of run the morning evolutions, but without eating any breakfast. I would just go straight to study, and I would study non-stop from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is the most productive day of your time, and at this time you can achieve a lot. So I would study for 4 hours non-stop and grasp a lot of things. Then I would take a break of around 1.5 hours, eat, get ready, shower, and then study for another 2.5 hours. This is the hard time to study because of the afternoon, but try to pull these 2.5, 3 hours as much as possible. Then I would take another 2 hour break. I would go for a walk. I will go work out, do something like that, watch a few videos, um, and then again sit down for 2 hours study. Then I would take 1 hour break for dinner, and then study till 11:30 and sleep. So that will also give me enough hours to sleep. This is important, to sleep at least 7 hours per day. 6 to 7 is important. How do you motivate yourself? See, some of you might be feeling down, you might not be feeling ready for the exam, but please do not give up at this point, because we have come so far, and I'm sure a lot of you are prepared. You might be getting a little bit less marks in various test series. You might be getting 65, 80, 90 marks. Others are getting 110 marks, 120 marks. Don't worry about that. Test series by these coaching institutes, this is not a good measure of your performance. You want to be honest to yourself and know that I stand here. And prelims is really about intuition, developing an idea about how to answer a question, not only about knowing things. So at this time, try to focus on just doing some old UPSC papers and developing your confidence on the basis of those. And What really worked for me at this time was this particular quote, that when you think you have done enough, just do a little bit more. That when you think that you have studied enough, when you think that you might feel sleepy, when you think that you have studied, done enough test series or enough studying of a particular subject, just study for the extra 1 hour. Just do that little bit more. At 10:30 you're feeling sleepy, 11 you're feeling sleepy. Just study for an extra 1 hour till 12, and that 1 hour will make the most amount of difference. Here I've again done one more slide on current affairs because current affairs really matters. These are the various sources that you can use for current affairs, and also an academy. I believe they have some module for current affairs, so you can use that also. But any of these, any one of these will be enough, not all of these. Final tips, as I already said, limit your sources, diligently follow the most common sources that I have provided or the ones that you want to use. Be diligent. Don't make any more notes. I really want to emphasize on this. Please, at this point, do not make any more notes and just focus on what you're studying. Okay, revise, apply your mind, use your common sense. Common sense is so uncommon, but it's very important. And do the UPSC old papers as far as back as possible. I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, you can shoot me questions in the comments, or shoot me a message, and I'll be more than happy to reply. Best of luck.